Hi, I'm Mitch Shoemaker, and this is day 50 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on gratitude. So, yay! I made it to day 50. I cannot believe that I made it to day 50. I am at the halfway mark. Yay! I'm very excited. I am halfway there. I am not stuck in the middle. I feel a little stuck in the middle. I am very much so looking forward to the end, which some days I think, okay, what am I going to do for my next 100 days? And other days like today, I'm just like, oh my gosh, can my 100 days be over? What was I thinking? 100 days? I'm insane. I am insane. I probably really am insane. And part of me was like, I just don't want to do day 50 today, but I have so much to be grateful for, and I have come this far that it would just be terribly sad to quit now. So I am not going to give up on myself. Because I know God is not going to give up on me, and I'm hoping that people that are watching these are not going to give up on me. And kind of example would I be to myself or to other people if I quit, especially when I am halfway there. So this is day 50, and now I've done 50 videos. So then what's another 50 videos, right? It should get easier from now on. I have hit the climax, and I'm on the way down. I hope that's how this works, because that's how it works in books. You know, you build up to the climax and then you go back down and you're like, and the book is over. So I'm hoping that's how this works with the videos. But I am very grateful. I have a lot to be blessed for. I'm actually very grateful that I drive a standard manual transmission for my car, stick shift, whatever people want to call it, because my battery decided to die on me. And I had a feeling it was dying for a while. I just have a tendency to ignore that because I don't want to deal with mechanical things. Not my favorite, so I will have to deal with it tomorrow, of course. But anyway, I'm really grateful because I went into a gas station, I came back out, and my car was dead. But there were some kids out there, and I say kids, they were probably in their late teens, 20s, whatever, but to me they're like kids anyway. I have kids that age, they're kids. Um, anyway, they offered to help, and I was like, well, I think the battery's dead. And they're like, oh, well, do you have jumper cables? And I'm like, no, but I have a stick shift. And one of them actually knew that you could push start a stick shift car, which I had done years ago. That happened to me in my old car. And I'd actually called a tow company because my car was like dead. And he's like, oh, you have a stick shift. We can just push start it so we don't have to tow it. And I was like, seriously? I had no idea you could do that. So he showed me how to do it. And then, of course, I forgot all about that. And so I actually was talking to someone else yesterday that mentioned the whole push starting thing with her brother's car growing up. And I was like, okay, so it was fresh in my mind. Apparently, I needed to remember that. So I think that's like a God thing, just, random conversation that seems kind of meaningless. And then all of a sudden my battery is dead. And I'm like, oh, and now it has meaning because I need to push start my car. And then here's some kid whose mom has the same problem. He's like, oh, yeah, we just push start it all the time. So they pushed my car backwards, and then pushed it forward so that I could start it like back out of the parking spot, because obviously you can't drive forward in the parking spot. So back out of the parking spot and then forward through the parking lot out of the QT that I was in last night. And I was like, yes. And it started up. So I was just really grateful. And I'm really grateful for random spontaneous strangers that were willing to help me, that just saw that I was trying to, like, are you okay? Can we help you? Do you need something? And I was like, oh my gosh. Because I tried to like back myself out and roll my car the first time, and it didn't really work for me. And so I was trying to push it back into a parking spot, and some girl had helped me, and then she went inside and her friends came out, and they're the ones that helped me actually push start my car. So I just feel really blessed. I know, long, crazy story, but it just made me feel blessed and reminded that God is aware of me, and how nice it is that with everything that's going on in the world today, that people are still kind and willing to help out a complete stranger, because I didn't know them, they didn't know me, and they're like, hey, can we help you? And they were willing to push start my car for me. And that is such a wonderful thing. It's such a wonderful blessing. And I wish that I did more things like that spontaneously to help random strangers. And I wish more people did things like that to help random strangers, instead of like being afraid or thinking, oh, they've got a cell phone, or oh, someone else can help them, or whatever, and just keep walking by. So I'm really grateful for those 4 people that didn't just walk by, that actually came and helped me with my car yesterday. So that was awesome. And that is my gratitude that I am going off of today. So I know that God is watching out for me, and He is aware of me, and He knows what I need, even when I don't, and He provides random strangers to help out. And I love that I can see that. I love that I am focused on those things to be grateful for, because I could have been moaning and groaning. I could have been complaining about the whole thing, like my battery was dead. I could have been freaking out. I wasn't freaking out. I mean, and in the past I have freaked out. I have cried, whatever. But to know that I was at peace, to know that someone just offered help and I was willing to accept it instead of saying, oh no, go away, I'll figure it out on my own. Because I've been stupid enough to do that in the past. I really have. Like, oh, I'm just going to figure this out because I don't want to talk to strangers. And like, no, hello, they're willing to help. Let them help. And I let them help last night. And I'm grateful for the reminder that I have a stick shift and I can push start my car and I don't have to have jumper cables or anything like that, which is an amazing feature in my car. I'm like, everybody should have a stick shift just for that purpose in and of itself. Don't have jumper cables or cars, and we'll just push it and it'll start, and then you can take it to the mechanic or wherever you need to go. It's amazing. Gotta love that feature in those cars. So I'm grateful for the type of car that I had. I'm grateful for the people that were willing to help. I'm grateful to know that people are willing to do those kinds of things still, and the random acts of kindness are totally worth it. And I'm grateful that I could focus on that and on what I was grateful for and for the help that I received instead of focusing on the problem. Because the battery is like just over a year old. I can take it to AutoZone. I can get it, either get it replaced for free because it's still under warranty, or I can get it like reduced for some rebated price for a brand new battery. It's not the end of the world. My battery dies almost every year anyways. It's where I live. It's insane. But that's not the point. That's not even really a problem. It's an easy fix. It's not something I have to freak out or stress out about. But I guess to me, it's seeing the difference in my reaction to allow some strangers to help me instead of thinking I had to do it on my own, to not be panicking, to be calm and peaceful, to be grateful for the people that were willing to help me, to be saying a prayer and thanking Heavenly Father for sending people to help my car to start so that I wasn't stranded in the middle of nowhere trying to get home. So I'm just grateful for all of these things, and I'm grateful that I could focus on all of those things, because I know there have been many times in my life when something like that would have happened and I would have been panicking, like literally having a panic attack, freaking out, refusing to get help from someone I didn't know, trying to figure out how to solve the problem all by myself when the answer was staring me right in the face and being like, nope, I can't do this. So I can see the change in myself. I can see the change in my reactions, and it's because I'm focusing on gratitude. It's because I'm focusing on the good things in my life. It's because I'm realizing that God has helped me through all the rough spots and the bad times, and that there's a way out, that I am not stuck somewhere. So even though I feel stuck sometimes, and even though I grudgingly do things I don't want to do sometimes, like these videos or the book that I wrote or whatever it is, I know that God is blessing me in spite of my grudging nature sometimes, or my stubborn nature, as it were. But I'm grateful that this is helping. It's working. It's changing my perspective. It's changing my reactions and my responses to people. And it's something so simple and so tiny as just focusing on things that I'm grateful for, and recognizing help when it comes, and seeing it as a gift from God instead of being upset and frustrated and spurning people because they're trying to help. And I've done that. I've been angry and upset, and when people tried to help after my divorce, I just kind of shut everybody out of my life, and I hid in my apartment, and I did nothing, and I gained weight and got more depressed, and it was terrible. And people offered to help or offered advice. I was like, not interested, go away, leave me alone. Okay, whatever, thanks for your input, I'm deleting this. I just was not receptive, and I'm grateful that today I was receptive, or last night that I was receptive, and that today I can still be grateful for that I can see the change in myself, that I can be receptive of help, that I can be grateful for the little things, that I know I'm not alone, that I know I can get through this, that I know it's all going to be okay, that I don't have to push God away, I don't have to push other people away, I don't even have to push myself away. I think oftentimes when I get depressed or discouraged, I'm pushing myself away. I'm hiding inside myself deep down somewhere. I'm like, I can't come out. I'm terrible, whatever it is. I don't know. And I'm like, and when I pull myself out and try to get to know myself, I realize there's nothing terrible, horrible, or scary getting to know myself. It's just feelings and emotions, and they're not comfortable. I don't always like to feel them, but feeling them and letting them go feels better. Sharing them with other people feels better, because then I'm not alone, especially if I share with other people that have been through the same things, because then they can share their experiences with me and how they got through it. And then I'm like, oh, so it is possible to get through this. Or, oh, I'm not the only one that's had to deal with this. And we all agree it sucks, but we can move forward and we can get through this and it will be okay. And I'm just grateful to know that. I'm grateful to feel that. I'm grateful to see those things in my life. And I'm grateful that I can share those things with whoever's watching these videos, and hopefully remind you that God knows you're there and He's aware of you. You just have to be willing to look and accept the help that He's offering, because He's always there offering help and guidance. He's always sending random strangers or even people we know into our lives to help us. We just have to be willing to accept the help. We just have to be willing to say, okay, I'll do it your way instead of mine, because my way is to pout and complain and try to do it myself, and I fail every single time. God's way is to smile, to ask for help, to let others into my life, and together we manage to do what I couldn't do alone. And that's the thing. We're not meant to be alone. We're not meant to try to do everything alone. And that is why there are people there to help, even if they're random strangers. And I'm not saying all random strangers are helpful or good, because I know there's lots of bad people out there too, and people that will take advantage and do horrible things. I've had all of that happen to me too. That's had people steal my money, other things like that. I've had friends, take money out of my lockers in high school and steal my brother's wallet, all that sort of thing. So I know bad things happen. I know there's bad people out there, but the choice is to focus on the bad or to focus on the good, to see the good in people or to see the bad. And I know that you see what you look for. If you're looking for the negative, you're going to find it. If you're looking for the positive, you're going to find it. And I think the more positive you look for, the more positive you attract. And the more negative you look for, the more negative you find. So I'm grateful that I can focus more on the positive right now. I'm grateful that these videos have been helping me to see the positive, to see the blessings in my life, to see the things to be grateful for. And I'm grateful that it's opened me up to accept help from random strangers and to see it as, a little miracle, a gift from God, something to be grateful for, grateful that people are still kind and willing to do good deeds. And I hope that those kids feel really good about what they did. And I hope that's something that they continue to do, because that was awesome. And I am extremely grateful for them. And I will never see them again. And all I could do was say thank you. And I hope they know how much that meant to me just for last night. And I think it's amazing. Whoever taught those kids to be like that they're amazing people, and that means there's amazing people out there in the world. That's a little ripple effect of, you throw a pebble into the rock and the pebble into the rock, a pebble into the water, or a rock into the water, and it has that little ripple effect where it just slowly goes out and out and out and out in that big old ring. And you never know whose life you're going to touch. And you never know if you're going to touch it in a positive way or a negative way. And I hope that I can continue to smile and touch people in positive ways instead of negative ways. And I'm sure I've said and done things that have hurt people, whether I did it intentionally or unintentionally. I don't know. Hopefully it's unintentionally. And I know I can't please everyone. I've long since learned I can't please everyone. So I have to do what makes me happy and what makes me feel at peace with God and what I feel like He wants me to do. And I know not everybody's going to like that. Not everyone's going to be happy. But I like the idea of putting positive things out there and getting positive things in return and seeing the positive things and knowing that God is going to help me through everything. And I know there's still going to be bad things that are going to happen. Life is full of ups and downs and trials and things. So it doesn't negate all of those things. It just means that I can still see the good in spite of the bad things that happen, and that the good can actually outweigh and help me feel lighter and better and get through whatever bad things have happened or may happen. And I'm grateful that I can see that I can change my focus and my perspective. And I know it's not me that's changing, and I'm sure it's God that's doing all these changes for me. But He's put people in my life that have encouraged me and pointed me in this direction and helped me see that I just needed to focus on something different. Because as long as I focused on the negative, on what I didn't have, on things not working out the way that I wanted them to, on doing things my way, everything was miserable. It was getting worse. And changing my focus and changing my attitude and learning that things aren't going to go my way and that I don't have to get upset about it is making a huge difference in my life and in my attitude and in the progress that I am making. And I'm grateful that after 50 days, I can see this difference. And I'm sure as I continue for the next 50 days, I will continue to see growth and continue to see differences. And maybe by the time I get to 100 days, I won't have days like today where I'm just like, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway because I know it's good for me. Or maybe I will have lots more days where I just have to get myself to do things because I know they're good for me and it's what I need to do for me. And it's a way for me to also hopefully bless the lives of other people. So it's my little mini service, random act of kindness, whatever you want to call it, to put that out there, to say thank you to those kids that helped me out, and to hopefully spread a little bit of cheer and hope to other people to know that there is hope, there is help, there is a way out. You just have to look to God to live. And I'm grateful for that. And I hope you guys all have a great day full of gratitude.